What's good, fam? This your main man, KCFL, King Self for Life. Wrestling Takes. Here to give him my thoughts about what I thought about AEW, Forbidden Door, New Japan, CML, the collab. It's pretty much their all-star show. Now, as usual, Tony Khan and them, they always put on decent to good pay-per-views. The problem is, all the dang time, he keeps trying to have everybody and their grandma on these shows that just don't matter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. That's just way too much, man. It's one of the major reasons why I'm not coming on here right afterwards trying to give you an honest review, because I'll be somewhere doing with these numbers. No, I ain't got time for all that. Decent show, but again, way too long. This is the problem we constantly have every time we're talking about an AEW pay-per-view. And Tony Khan doesn't give a dang. I've been trying to talk to him. I've been trying to holler at him, trying to tell him, like, listen, dog, we can't keep doing this. And he keeps saying, but I want to please the fans. I want to please my workers. No, It's time for you to be a boss. And tell them, if your storyline ain't important, I ain't putting you on here. I'm not. Speaking of which, AEW, CML, Ring of Honor is hooking up again with New Japan next year. Sound like it's just a rip off of Wrestle Dream and Dynasty. It's called Wrestle Dynasty, taking place on January 4th and January 5th at 2 o'clock in the morning. You know dang well I won't be up watching that stuff. However, I will watch it. But like I said, it'll be afterwards. And it's a 2-day thing. So I'm not going to be watching it live like everybody and their grandma going to be doing. No, because that stuff come on from 2 o'clock in the morning. Listen, I may be a crazy wrestling head, but I ain't that crazy. So, let's go ahead and break down this show. Now, I did not watch this match because I didn't pull up to my guy's house until, like, once this match started. So, Kyle Fletcher beat the snot out of Serpentico. Why the clown was this even on the show, Tony Khan? Why? This is a collision matchup. This is a Rampage matchup. This is a Ring of Honor matchup. This is not a Forbidden Door. Who the clown is looking for Kyle Fletcher and Serpentico? Who? Nobody was clamoring for this. This is just you being silly. You don't need every goof in the back on the show. This is a waste of time. I'm glad I didn't watch it. I came in watching this show right here. Matchup. House of Black versus Private Party. Kyle O'Reilly. Ishii. Gabe Kidd. And Roderick Strong. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I absolutely would have cared about this tag team match if this tag team match guaranteed a future shot for the AEW Tag Team Championship. It didn't. This is just, once again, a way to get everybody and their grandma on the show. Not needed. You didn't listen. House of Black is good. They are Malachi Black and Brody King are forever gonna be great. I don't care what they do. They're gonna be great. The problem is they didn't need this matchup. This was a waste. You could have saved this for Dynamite. You literally could have done this on Dynamite. Say, in the future, whoever wins this gets an opportunity at the AEW Tag Team Championship. Since the ranking system don't mean nothing, because it's a waste of time, you could have had this matchup and it would have meant something. It didn't. So I didn't care nothing about this matchup. So this was, to me, this is a weakling match. Cass was just doing anything. Private Party tried to get their shine on, but they just looked terrible. Kyle O'Reilly, ladies and gentlemen, what is Tony Khan going to give up on Kyle O'Reilly and get him with Roger Strong and them? Because Kyle O'Reilly is a singles, just not doing it, man. Ishii, Ishii is just Ishii. This Gabe Kidd or whatever his name, look, he from New Japan. I don't know who he is. And then Roger Strong. It's like a waste. This is just a paycheck for them. That's all it was. And it was, again, too unnecessary. Think about this. You squashed 2 matches. Now we're down to 13. Get these crappy matches off the show. Now we do this. I understand why they did this tag team match because, again, let me tell y'all something. I'm going to be 100% with you. The women dang there did their thing. I think all the ladies matches outside of the Owen Hart Cup tournament for the ladies with Mariah and Saraya, even that matchup, Mariah didn't look bad. It's just who she was dealing with. She was dealing with Saraya. The women did a great job because I'm going to tell you the truth. This matchup right here with Willow Nightingale, Tama Nakino, Chris Statlander, and Momo Watanabe, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to tell you that this was a fantastic tag team match. This was a very good tag. I don't give a dang what nobody has to say. I know certain cats I know can't stand this sister right here. Oh, well. She and this young lady right here, She and this young lady right here did a fantastic job. And then you got Stokely Hathaway over his silly stuff over there clowning, trying to get involved in all this crazy crap. The reason they did this is because on Dynamite coming out, once again, they're going to be out this way on Wednesday night. Willow and Chris are going at it, and whoever wins moves on into the Owen Hart Cup tournament. It's an easy win. Tamaneko pin Momo wanting to be, and this protects both Willow and Statlander because on Wednesday night it's easy money. Statlander is going to beat Nightingale. It was only right for them to win this matchup, but I thought all four of these girls did a great job. All four of them. So I want to say this was absolutely a good matchup, and I absolutely wouldn't have minded being on the pre-show. This matchup, the reason why they did it is because it's for the Owen Hart Cup tournament. Mariah May and Saraya. Mariah May absolutely won, but she almost got screwed by Tony because Tony called herself coming out there trying to help her out, but she getting in the way and causing all kind of havoc. Saraya got her goons out there trying to do stuff, and it's just causing all kind of crazy stuff. But Mariah May winning played a huge role into the women's matchup later on the show, and also I believe it's going to play a huge factor into who's going to win this women's Owen Hart Cup tournament final. Owen Hart Cup tournament final. I'm telling you right now, Mariah May, I'm rolling with her to win the whole thing. Another garbage match that was not even worth being on the show. Mystico, Ray Phoenix, Pentacle, Titan, Yoda, Teshui, Hero Tanashani or whatever. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, this was a botch fest. I'm sorry, man. This trio's man. Look, Cats was botching all over the place. It was some scenes that I wasn't really paying attention to. I heard them in there just laughing and crying. I'm like, I don't even know what's going on. This again was just cats from the CML and the AAAs and the AEW cats trying to get their shine on, and Ray and Penta always lose every day, so you know they had to win with Mexico. Like, I'm trying to tell you, I personally didn't give a rat's behind about this matchup. Really, I didn't. Like I said, the only two matches that I absolutely wouldn't have had a problem being on the pre-show is these two matches. Get rid of this. So now you kill 3 matches. So what's that? 15 minus 3, that's 12. So now we're down to 12. So when I get on the main roster, I cut down the matches that I thought on the main roster show, what should have been and what should have not been. But that was that. So we open up the show with MJF. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, MJF is getting his feet back into the thing. He's getting himself back into title contention, but he can't automatically jump himself into that title scene. However, he was kind of lurking around towards the end, and I get there. But I like the fact that they opened the show with MJF because he's just getting back. He's just getting back, yes, and he's a hometown hero from the backyard, from Long Island, New York. Fans going crazy for him, and he went against Ekisero. Shout out to my homeboy Ariel for helping me pronounce that. I just called him Bang because he looked like Bang. This was a decent match. MJF doing what he do. Bang was basically getting the upper hand on the man, and I think he kind of messed up MJF's rip. Now we ain't heard no X-ray or nothing like that. I hope it was just it ain't broken or nothing like that. But this Ekisero cat, he basically he went toe to toe with MJF. MJF literally had to beat this man with one arm. Real talk. Like, that's just how crazy the matchup was. Like I said, it was a decent opener. I didn't have a problem with it. But it is what it is. Then we get to this matchup. We get to the next trios match. The Elite with Okada versus the Acclaim with Hiroshi Tanahashi. Now, I knew why they wasn't going to do a one-on-one match because last year, remember, Tanahashi went against MJF for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship, and Tanahashi looked like he was just too gassed. But I was like, no, he can't do this by himself. So them doing this matchup, it is what it is. Now, there was a lot of foolishness going on. You had the Acclaim come out there just basically disrespecting the mess out of them. They called Okada a bunch of bees, and they're going to whip their tail and all this stuff. And y'all know how it is. But Okada had to play the role of, even with the fans cheering him on, he can't stand the fans right now because he's a freaking heel. So, I knew Okada was going to do work. Okada messed around and pinned Tanahashi. This protects the Anthony Bowens and Max Caster. Matthew and Nicholas Jackson were just being silly, obnoxious heels as they are. And that was that. So we move on from there. So like I said, decent matchup. It is what it is on that. So now we get to this matchup. Now the men's tournament, Bryan Danielson versus Shingo. I've seen some of the best Bryan matches I've seen, period. And I'm going to be 100% with you, man. I really didn't care nothing about this. But again, when you want to see Bryan win a match at a pay-per-view, always pull up to Forbidden Door because you're going to see it. Bryan Danielson always makes sure he gets that W at Forbidden Door. That's about it. But he moves on in the tournament. He will be going against Pac later on. Then we get to the AEW Women's Championship. Now, this for me was one of the most important matches I was actually looking forward to. I wanted to see this matchup. Timeless Tony, Mina Shira Kawaya, that's how you say your name. And you got Miss Mariah May, who's in the middle of this whole thing. And the entire time, Mariah's reactions was this whole story. Because both girls wanted her to, quote-unquote, assist them in winning the matchup. But Mariah just had this sad look on her face as if she did not want to get in between neither one of her friends' business. She knew she could have, but she just tried her best to stay out. And that's what the whole storyline of the matchup was. Meanwhile, Mina and Toni Storm were tearing it up. And let me tell y'all something. Toni Storm is a complete clown. This girl came out dressed up like the Statue of Liberty. I said this girl is something else. Toni is doing. Let me tell y'all something. Toni made one of the best decisions leaving WWE, coming to AEW. For the clowns who constantly be talking about AEW ain't doing nothing, they ain't know nothing. Toni Storm's character work. You already know she was good in the ring. I'm telling you, when she was in NXT, the gimmick with her with the want to be like Nelly with the doggone bandana underneath her eye and all this stuff. I didn't get it. I didn't understand it. I really didn't. And right, she really didn't appeal to me. This Toni Storm is on another level. I told you, the gimmick is straight out of Living Color. Type in Kelly Clofield, Living Color, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Black and white skit or whatever. You'll see exactly what I'm talking about. But matchup was fantastic. Both girls could have easily won. I thought Mina was going to get the victory. Every now and then, Mariah was, iffy on what she was going to do. And, but she said, nope, I'm not getting in this because I'm too tight with both of them. I'm best friends with Toni. I'm best friends with Mina. I can't get involved in either one of their business because I'm going to mess up the friendship or whatever. And Mina looked like she was finna win. She didn't. Toni Storm got the best of her. She retained the championship. So after the matchup, Maria got in the ring. Toni got in the ring, and they was talking about trying to kiss and make up and all this crazy crap. And so as of right now, everybody's on the same page. As of right now, the storyline, everything revolves around Mariah May moving forward concerning the AEW Women's Championship. That's the storyline right now. And I thought Tony Khan and company and the young lady that's booking the women's division now, Jennifer, I forgot her last name. Great job. Great storytelling. I thought the women did a great job. Zack Sabre Jr. versus OC. The only thing I cared about this was as long as OC lost, that's all that mattered to me. This was basically a mat wrestling, submission match, wrestling match. And OC, he hung tight with Zack Sabre Jr. I give him that. Because Zack Sabre Jr. going to put you in a pretzel just as fast as you say somebody's name. Zack Sabre Jr. is very, when they say technical wrestlers, he's definitely one of the best out there. Now, the match itself, like I said, it was, it's one of the matches where you look up and you're like, all I care as long as this fool lost. That's all that matters to me. And Zack Sabre Jr. got the victory. When he won, I stood up because I say Tony Khan made the right booker decision. He made the right booker decision. Ain't nowhere in the world OC was supposed to win this match. No business whatsoever. None whatsoever. Zack Sabre Jr. wins, great. Then this trash match. This is another match that had absolutely no business being on the show. So now we scrap this. That's the fourth matchup. You scrap 4 matches. We down to 11. We're down to 11 matches on this show. 11. So you know what? I absolutely wouldn't have had no problem with 11 matches. You got 3 on the pre-show, 8 on the main card. Boom. Everybody got time to breathe. I didn't give a dang about this matchup. Samoa Joe, Hook, Shibata versus The Learning Tree. Chris Jericho, Big Bill, and Jeff Cobb with Bounty Keith in the corner with a messed up wrist or whatever. the fans were trying to get, when Jeff and Samoa Joe got in the ring, they were starting to start that big meaty meat chant they always like to say. I say, it is what it is. Ladies and gentlemen, I didn't give a rat's behind about this matchup. I didn't care nothing about it. This had no business being on the show. I don't care. Jericho is the FTW championship. I don't care. Hook is from Long Island, New York. I don't care. I just didn't give a crap about this matchup. It was a waste of time. I didn't care about it. Might have been one of the worst matches on the doggone show. I didn't care. I really did not care about it. It is what it is on that, but they won. And guess what? Jericho got pinned. Which lets you know that championship don't mean a thing. It don't mean nothing. It's terrible. I always say protect your champion, right? Pro wrestling these days, they don't care about protecting your championship because the championships don't mean nothing on people. They don't mean anything. Then we get to the this was a crash course left and right. This was a crash course. Now, I've seen better ladder matches, but they did everything in their power to entertain folk. TNT ladder match. Jack Perry defeats Takeshita, Mark Briscoe, Dante Martin, Leo Rush, and El Fantasmo. El Fantasmo, I got to give him props. For a cat who I don't watch because he's from New Japan, he came out there and messed around and was the MVP of the whole matchup. Dude was doing all kind of insane, crazy crap. And he went by himself. Takeshita was getting a baby face reaction. Fans wanted Takeshita to win as a heel. They wanted this dude to win. And you know what? I'm not going to lie. I kind of wanted him to win. Even though I knew Jack Perry was going to get the dub, I wanted Takeshita to win this. Mark Briscoe kept screwing things up. And I was like, no, Mark, get the heck out the way. Dante and Leo were too busy trying to do too many acrobats. It was a time when Martin looked like he was getting ready to win because everybody in the grandma was laid out. Everybody was knocked out. So it was like, okay, Dante might do it. Nope. And then Leo Rush. This Leo Rush, man, let me tell you something. Leo Rush, he know he's just too good for it. He's just too good, man. Jumping through the ladders and flipping over here and doing all this crazy crap. I was like, man, this dude is crazy. This cat is insane, man. I'm telling you, man. But with Jack Perry, quote unquote, looking like he wasn't gonna win nothing, steal the glory from everybody. I told everybody in their grandma, they want the new elite to quote unquote have all the gold right now. That's the name of the game. All the gold is going to the new elite. That's basically what it all is right now. Jack Perry pulled that ladder. Pulled the championship down. Like I said, you had fools flying through tables and insane spots and all this crazy crowd. I was like, I just want to make sure Cass is safe. I don't want nobody getting injured. And matter of fact, the promo they showed was Adam Copeland breaking his doggone leg on some stupid stuff, doing an unnecessary spot. But like I said, decent ladder match. The right cat won. Jack Perry got his first singles gold. This new skate. Yeah, matter of fact, he came out there with a goofy looking goat mask and all this crazy stuff. I said, man, this dude, I'm saying he's something else, but it is what it is. Then we get to this matchup. The TBS Championship match. Mercedes Moné versus New Japan Strong Champion Stephanie Valkyrie. Now, I've never seen this young lady wrestle before. Ladies and gentlemen, when I tell you Stephanie Valkyrie is one of the best women wrestlers I've seen wrestle today. And I've never seen her wrestle before. Coming out here looking like she came straight out the gates of hell. And Mercedes, one thing, see, a lot of people, so many people be hating on this woman. Mercedes is very good at elevating and making whoever she's in the ring with look great. That's why whatever they was in there trying to tell, whatever they was in there doing, because both of them were getting vastly frustrated. When neither one of them could beat or make the other submit, they were getting vastly frustrated. You can see it in both of their eyes, and I love the story that they were telling. And then, as the match started, the fans were on Mercedes' side saying CEO, but then as people started to remember, oh, that's right, she's in enemy territory. She's a Boston Celtics fan. She's from Boston. And then there was a cat that was wearing a Boston Celtics shirt. The fans started saying F the Celtics, F Boston, and Mercedes was getting booed. But guess what? Mercedes was embracing it. She was embracing the hate. And I said, that's where she rolls. Let me tell you something. I absolutely don't mind a babyface Mercedes, but heel Mercedes seems to be what a lot of people gravitate towards. And I'm like, look, if this is the role she's going to have to play moving forward, by all means do it. But Stephanie, man, this girl was in here doing work. She was doing work. I said, go ahead, y'all. Y'all do what y'all got to do. I said, man, I want to see more of this young lady. Stephanie Van Curie is a great women's wrestler. From my first time watching her wrestle. I don't care nothing about all that satanic crap that she came out dressed up looking like she just left the gates of hell. But when she got in that ring, when that bell rang, her and Mercedes tore the house down. They did a great job. Like I said, the women, for me, the women, they carried this show. Outside of a couple of the men's matches, especially when I'm getting ready to talk about the final two matches, but the women did well. They did a fact. Let me tell you something. There was rumors going around that Tony Khan and company may try to do the all women's wrestling pay-per-view in the future. Well, if Tony Khan and company can keep the women's stories interested, I don't know. I absolutely may be on board with it, but you got to make us care. You have to. Every time we come back from a freaking pay-per-view, it's like rinse and repeat. You want us to be invested in what you're trying to tell, but then you just go back to it's just about the wrestling. No, it's not. That's a lie from the pit of hell. It should not just be about the wrestling. It's supposed to be about the storytellers and larger than life characters, keeping people invested. And I know fools are gonna say y'all been brainwashed by the WWE law. No, that's just pro wrestling in general. I would say the same thing for TNA. I would say the same thing if WCW was still around. I would say the same thing if ECW was around. It's all about what storyline you have that's going to sink me in. It's going to keep me to come back week in, week out. That's all I'm going to say. But look, Mercedes and Stephanie, man, they did a great job. They did a fantastic job. Then we get to this matchup. This right here, the IWPG World Heavyweight Championship. Now, the one thing I can say about Moxley's music when he works for New Japan is way better than Wild Thing. Wild Thing is one of the worst theme songs I've ever heard. I'm sorry to you Moxley heads, but Wild Thing sucks. The theme song he has for the New Japan makes me think that this dude is legit. Makes me think Jon Moxley is a serious contender. He comes out at the NATO. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what this is with him doing. I don't know what that is. The only thing I cared about this match was as long as NATO won. Because AEW has too many championships that they not really elevate. Outside of the AEW Women's Championship, and now outside, you can kind of say this right now based off of what happened in the main event. And I'm gonna go out my way and say the same thing with the TBS, but everything else just feels the same. The trios feel the same. Tag teams feel the same. You want us to be invested in whoever your champion is at the time. Moxley didn't need another championship in a company where you don't really even know what you're doing with the current cast that you have as champions. I'm like, no. So the only outcome that was needed was NATO beating the brakes off of Moxley. And ladies and gentlemen, I gotta say it, Moxley did not bleed. You would have thought Moxley would have been somewhere bleeding all over the place. No, he did not bleed, ladies and gentlemen. I got to give Moxley props. A lot of people was expecting him to be bleeding all over the place. No, he didn't. He did not bleed, so I got to give him props. NATO was just NATO, man. The matchup, it is what it is. The right outcome happened. NATO take that IWPG World Heavyweight Championship back to New Japan, and you build it up over there. Moxley don't need nothing. Moxley need to figure out what the clown is doing with the BCC and move on from that. But until then, I'm like, he didn't need it. It was just basically him holding it for what? Because it wasn't benefiting AEW and the show wasn't benefiting New Japan. It wasn't. So NATO got the championship back. Great. It's the right outcome. It was the only correct outcome. Because I would have had a serious problem if Jon Moxley would have retained the championship. I would have told Tony Khan what the clown decision was that. What the heck is you doing, bro? Then we get to the main event. Swerve and Will Ospreay. Ladies and gentlemen, I told you. Will Ospreay don't even have to do nothing. Will Ospreay, one of them cats, man, he could sleep and give you a great matchup. And then Swerve is, listen, let me be 100% with y'all. So far, Swerve's run has been decent. Now, when I say decent, that doesn't mean it's fantastic. It could have been so much better because Tony Khan was treating him as a secondary champion. He wasn't putting forth an effort. He was out here trying to elevate himself and the elite over maintaining the fact that you got your first black AEW world champion. You got your first FBA cat as your main champion right now. Now, I know there's a bunch of people that's still stuck on the fact that he did that coon crap. I seen some girl had this stupid post talking about because it was a picture of both Mercedes and him, talk about they not like us. Now, for the people who don't understand, they not like us. Kendrick Lamar did a big song because him and Drake were dissing one another. And the song was basically saying that Drake, quote unquote, ain't FBA. He caught up in that pedophile crap and he not like us. So what she was trying to say is that Swerve and Mercedes is not like, quote unquote, them. But I'm here to tell you, I'm personally starting to think there's a whole bunch of tethers that are sitting up here trying to say that Swerve and Mercedes ain't really down with the cause and they just a bunch of they just one coon and one bed witch. I'm trying to tell y'all can miss me with that foolishness, man. Every single one of us checked Swerve for that coonery that he did. We all checked him for that mess. Y'all need to get over. Y'all fools need to get over that fact. Like, get the heck over. Just get over it. That y'all stuck in that crap. I don't know why. Just get the heck over it. But anyway, I mean, what is there to? What else is to say? Swerve and Osprey they murdered it. That's what they do. That's what they do. Now, me, I was sitting up here thinking Tony Khan was gonna be on some bull jive, because again, how he's been present. How many times I tell y'all this? Presentation matters. So you've been presenting Swerve like a secondary champion. And you've been kind of, quote unquote, making Will Ospreay feel like he's the main guy. Well, I'm sitting up here thinking, okay, it's either going to end in a draw or Will Ospreay is going to beat him. That's what I'm thinking. No. Referee gets laid out. Both of them doing all. I mean, listen, I don't even know how to start this. Cass is just, first when they got it there, they grappled up with one another. They embraced it. The crowd was completely split. You had the Bruv side versus the Who's house, Swerve's house. Oh, and shout out to Jim Jones coming. Man, first of all, look, TK find a way to get all kind of clowns to come through. Wasn't nobody thinking about no doggone Jim Jones. Jim Jones pulled up to, quote unquote, bring out Swerve. I said, look here, man, I know what's going on. Listen, let me tell y'all something. We know how these pro wrestling companies move. We know when pro wrestling companies are, quote unquote, pandering. I'm not stupid. WWE does it all day long. So Tony Khan was like, hey, Swerve, who you got that you come through? Swerve like, hey, man, I got Jim Jones on the phones. And wasn't nobody thinking about no Jim Jones. I know he's from New York, but wasn't nobody thinking about no Jim Jones. So Jim Jones comes out. He welcomes Swerve out. Fans go crazy. And everybody did the, you know this. But look, everybody did the ball. Look, you know that one hit. Look, I'm going to tell you the truth. The Diplomats, they had their songs, but for me, I think Jim Jones one hit wonder, the balling song. Listen, dude had everybody at graduations doing the balling. So I'm just me. Look, for any Jim Jones fans out there, I just personally think that one track was his one hit wonder. But I mean, he's got other songs that he put out, but the one hit wonder balling, that was like the epitome of his career. But he came out, Swerve comes out. Prince Nana doing the Prince Nana dance and all this crazy stuff. So back to the matchup. Listen, they were going tit for tat. Ospreay is the guy that you know he does not go down without a hard fought fight. Well, and they make you think like everything that happened, from the refs getting laid out to what's my man name? Don the Clown coming out of nowhere, basically giving him the doggone screwdriver to annihilate and take out Swerve. Basically use his evil ways to get the job done, and it did not work. He even started tangling it up with Prince Nana. Listen, it was getting crazy. I mean, they was doing each. Look, Swerve even did Will Ospreay's move to take him out, and that didn't work. It was like they was jumping off. They was doing the stumps over there on the barricade with the fans. He did the stump on the announce table. I mean, these cats was just going nuts. Will Ospreay and Swerve tore the freaking house down. These clowns were murdering each other. I mean, they would be, and like I say, with all of that, Ospreay did he put everything out there. Everything. And it was not enough. Swerve got the job done. And he beat him clean. And they embraced one another. They hugged. He told that man he loved him. Ladies and gentlemen, the build up to All In begins on Wednesday night. Tony Khan, there is absolutely no excuse for cats to not be invested. We got a month and a half. We got a whole, if you want to say whole 2 months, because it's at the end of August. 2 months to get people invested in Forbidden Door. All In. You got 2 whole months. Figure a way to get people interested. Now, I'm not talking about having clowns wrestle each other 50,000 times before they get ready to go at the pay-per-view. That's not it. I'm talking about finding a way. Get somebody in there to help you tell a freaking story about what's to come, what's about to pop off, what's going to happen. And the embracing from one another. I mean, look, it was fantastic. I thought Will and Swerve and Don Callis and Nana and everybody, I thought everybody did a great job. So I would have tolerated 11 matches. I told you the matches that's not going to be on the show. This is gone. Zack Sabre Jr. Now, I really didn't care about the matchup. It was only the reason why I was cool with it is because it's Zack Sabre Jr. And you know this is when he pulls up. But this matchup, oh no. The learning tree, get this trash off. Get this crap off. So that's 1. Get rid of this matchup. You get rid of this matchup. That's 2. You get rid of Kyle Fletcher. And then you get rid of this matchup. So 4 matches. So you cut 4 matches and then you leave 11. I would have been cool with the 2 women's matches on the pre-show. Then you put what other match? What match I would have sacrificed and put on the pre-show? You know what? Screw it. I would put Zack Sabre Jr. OC on the pre-show. I know fans would have been upset. People would have been tripping. People would have been crying. But I'm like, it is what it is. You on the show, it's just on the pre-show. I'm like, so that's what I would have done. I would have sacrificed Zack Sabre Jr. and OC and put them on the pre-show. But it is what it is. So, like I say, the length is why I can't go my normal number. My normal number with that AEW pay-per-view is like an 8 or a 9. I can't do it. I want to, but I can't. Even as great as the final matches were, the final 4 matches, it's just the length, man. It's just too dang long. It's just too long. But Tony Khan don't give a crap. He gonna keep doing this crap because that's how he move. But I ain't got nothing else really to say. Monday Night Raw is on right now. I'm gonna watch that crap once the show is completely done, and then you'll get a review as usual on my way to work. But I'm going with a 7 out of 10. Like I said, I wanted to give it an 8, but again, it's just too long, man. It's just too dang long. I don't care what these fools, these hardcore AEW heads be like, man, fantastic pay-per-view. I'm like, man, it was good. Yes. Yeah, great wrestling. It's just too dang long. Cut the dead weight. You cut the dead weight. You put 3 on the pre-show, 8 on the main card, and we are good. We are good. I guarantee you, 11 matches, we would have probably been done probably about 10 o'clock. We probably would have been done like about a little bit after 10. So probably about 10, 11. About 10 o'clock, 10, 15 or something like that. No, Tony Khan got to have 15 other matches all together. No. I'm not doing that. I can't do it. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, you know exactly what to do. If you're new to this channel, feel free to subscribe. Make sure you hit that like button. Leave a comment. Tell me what you thought. Maybe you probably part of them clowns that just think the show was trash or whatever. Tell me. Say what you got to say. Or you like me and say the show was great. It was just too dang long. Hit the comment section up. I will talk to y'all cats later. Y'all know what to do. This your main man, Casey King Self for Life Wrestling Takes. I'm gone.